All right, morning and welcome to the Season 2 Randomizer Bracket Round 1 Andrea versus Danilio match. I am Tudos, and joining me on comms today is Spike SSBU. I hope I got that correct.
Yeah, that's right. Or Aussie Spike, or non-Vegeta Spike, or I guess any.
Alright, well, Spike here is the current holder of the fastest completion in the bracket stage so far with a 138. How did your first round match go, Spike?
It was a pretty good seed, honestly. I had fun that seed. Aside from a guitar casino, I guess it was a fun time. I'm honestly surprised that was the only low time. Like, seeing some of the times that have been this first round is actually kind of insane.
Oh yeah, definitely. And obviously we got some stinker seeds like the seed I had to do. And Kuiper had a bad one as well. Kuiper got a bad one as well.
Yeah, Kuiper's was not fun from what I saw. What happened in yours?
I don't even remember. That's the seed I want to forget about.
Okay, understandable.
I remember. It was unhinted key 5 in Dirt Patch in Galleon where Coconut was locked really deep.
Ooh. That's a fun scene. That's a fun one.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, hopefully we don't have a scene like that today.
No, I hope not. Alright, I'm going to switch over the game feeds here. So, as we see, we have a pretty decent start here. We have DK Tiny. None of them have their moves, though. We have a guitar start, which means, of course, once you get Diddy, you're going straight into you have Aztec Axis completely. Gorilla Gong, so there's no searching at the end for it. And then Barrels is always nice to have. It's a training move.
Yeah, having one of the 3 training moves is always fun at the start, because in theory, it reduces how much first 3 levels you are hunting. That being said, anything can go.
Alright, well, I was promised sound on Danilio's stream. It looks like that's not happening.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. I've got 0 audio from both players.
Alright, well, Andrea was a little bit late. We'll see if they have sound we can get. Yo, how are we doing in chat today? Press 1 if you're excited for brackets. I know I am.
Actually, Danilio does have audio, but it's incredibly quiet.
Alright, we'll see how Andrew's audio is. Alright, so with a little bit of a late start here, I believe we're starting in probably about 2 minutes from now. Let's see how we're... Alright, well, that'll have to do. Alright, like I said, DK Tiny start with guitar, chunky, and barrel throw.
Which, with some of these items, you can pretty much see potential for some early game bosses. Having barrel throwing pretty much opens up the door for any boss almost as it goes. So, wonder if we're going to be seeing many bosses show up this seed.
Yeah, I think there's a high possibility that bosses... The fact that we have starting barrels means there's a higher chance that like an early boss is going to contain something. Especially since you don't have nearly as many checks as you do if the whole game's open. So I think there's a pretty good chance we'll see that. We should be starting shortly here, I believe.
Yeah, it looks like both players are getting ready to start. What is a check you are hoping to see today? I'm hoping to see a toy monster show up.
I'm hoping for what haven't I seen in a long time? Actually, personally, I'm hoping for Dirt Patch and Caves because I never get to see that one. All right, here we go. All right, the pretty typical start here. Both players going to beeline for K-Lumsy.
Oh, an instant key 7. Okay, you don't often see that.
Key 7 immediately. Very unusual.
I actually did not know if DK could potentially, or Diddy could potentially make that jump there, so I guess going around to a Japes Lobby 2 instead. See what some of our hints are.
Factory Funky Chunky Iswath.
Ooh, Forest Shop, so that's got some potential to be spicy.
What was on Forest Shops now?
Chunky K. Rule. And also on Galleon Medals. Interesting. Okay, already got a few chunky hints. We have a mermaid.
Oh, baby.
Okay, mermaid.
Well, we did just get a pearl.
Yeah, true. So that's probably not going to be that big of an issue.
Ooh,
and we have Mini Monkey as well.
Mini Monkey in main aisles. That's also another good one to have. Yeah, it looks like it's setting you up for Mermaid pretty quickly. And because you have Mini Monkey early, I like this play. You have to check the fairy check. Like, this could screw you if you don't know.
And it's a potion! Okay. Oh no! Are we really having a mermaid and a fairy seed today? Oh no. Okay.
So, who's the race mod here?
Who are we gonna talk to?
Yeah, we need to make sure people know who to talk to if the seeds ends up being terrible.
At least it's early hinted. At least we've got the knowledge of that in the first couple of minutes rather than 2 hours in. Oh, time to collect fairies.
Yeah, Sarah's really rolled some spicy seeds lately. A complete one, I don't say a complete 180, but a pretty sharp turn from the seeds she rolled in the first couple quals. Coconut Shooter pops up early as well.
We are completely set for Galleon aside from diving. The mermaid check is very close.
DK Command Land Key.
Chunky is in Forest.
Factory. Cave's Helm.
Alrighty, looks like everyone's just going to be cleaning up a few simple aisles checks before assumably heading into caves.
Yeah,
Were any of our hints for caves? I think it was just key 2.
Yeah, and like Coconut is a way of the Horde. You have to like go to that pretty much right away here. Andrea knew right away to do it. Danilio had to think for a second here. Now, with Andrea being the higher seed, probably knows their way around. As Andrea is a randomizer veteran, so I would expect them to know their way around like subtle hints like that a little bit better. I have no idea what Danilio's background is with randomizers, however.
Yeah, I'm not so sure either, but does still seem to know his way around, considering that we do have qualified for the top 32, and we also have a vial on the rocket barrel check in caves. I wonder if anyone's going to be skipping that with DK or Tiny today.
Well, Andrea never went for it, so I'm not sure they knew how they could get it with just DK. So we'll see if Danilio knows how. Otherwise, we'll have to wait until someone gets rocket barrel.
Alrighty, and both rounding caves very differently as well. Andrea opting for cabins, while Danilio opting to get Diddy on the way to Igloo. Okay, not a bad find.
Diddy appearing in the main caves area.
And then Andrea picking up Diddy too. Okay, not a bad start for both players here.
Pretty solid set of items. But that's what I said about my practice seed earlier, that it ended up being a huge dud, so.
I mean, get all the duds out of the way before the actual main bracket matches pop up. That's how it goes.
Now, what Andrew did there is technically out of logic. That is a slope climb with Tiny. I mean, you can still get there with just by going all the way around like the Danilio did, but it's a quick and easy way to get up that slope without walking all the way around. It looks like Danilio is going to opt to not buy things right away, probably because he knows there's not a lot of DK coins at the beginning, so he's going to avoid buying for now. He's probably going to be buying some gold bananas when he comes back later, I would presume.
Yeah, because odds are you're never really going to be single dipping in these levels, so it's never usually a bad idea to delay buying GBs, especially if you're only getting about 3-4 coins. Oh, we have found key 2, it seems.
Rip. Danilio finding a medal. And I guess there's something in there, though there's just a watermelon.
Yeah, Igloo area not looking too good at the moment, unfortunately. But we're going to at least see our first potential boss fight from, or potential from Danilio, while I wonder if Andrea is going to be going and getting some hints after this.
Yeah, definitely can get the level 3 hints now. Hints very powerful in this game. A lot of them are just flat out telling you what checks to do, and then the rest of them are just telling you which areas to check and not check. So very powerful hinting in this game. You need to make sure you can prioritize those basically as soon as your route allows you to.
And the way the Season 2 hints work as well is you're guaranteed a certain number of foolish checks, you're guaranteed a check for each comm, you're guaranteed pretty much everything you need to know, especially early game. So any form of hints is a very powerful thing. So the sooner you can find keys, the sooner you can figure out where to avoid in this game.
So, fun fact, the Troffenskopf portal that Danilio was just in just now is not there in the vanilla game, but it is there in the original code. We believe the reason why that's not there in the original game is because there's a glitch that when you warp back out into the caves area from the Troffenskopf area, it kind of like bugs out. So we believe they took it out for that reason. So we added that one Troffenskopf ad because it was probably supposed to be there, and we kind of deduced that just because of the bug that it was probably taken out at the last second.
I did not know that. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and also the other portals are kind of a pain in the butt to get to, so.
Ooh, Danilio does in fact know how to get this with DK. Ooh, interesting.
Oh,
okay.
nice play.
Oh!
Well, he can't even do this.
So that is one of the few mini games out there that is hard locked behind certain items. You, no matter what, need Diddy, Rocket Barrel, and Peanuts to do that. So unfortunately, even though he went for that skip early, he's going to have to wait logically to be able to do that check.
We call that in our community. We call that the 2%ers mini game. Couple mini games that are hard, and we lovingly refer to that as if you get those games in Helm, you're going through Helm, and then all of a sudden you don't have the item you need because you thought you were in go mode, but now you're not. That did happen to me the first time very early on in I think season 1, where I thought I was gonna be able to beat Helm, but I didn't have Ponytail Twirl, and then I need to go on a hunt for it. So. Danilio not finding key 2. He's going to go ahead and go to Japes here. So this could potentially cost him quite a bit of time not getting key 2 the first pass. Now we're going to see Andrea go into lobby 3 right away. We're going to see some more hints.
And we have a level 3 forest, which means we're going to be getting Chunky Kong, who is going to be on the arena at the Mushroom. Speaking of the arena at the Mushroom,
Andrea went a little too fast for those first couple hints.
I believe it was Forest Shops to Key 8 was the only one I saw.
I think it was... So I saw Japes Lowlands is both Key 5 and Key 8.
Okay, I think there was a Forest Shop 8. There was a hint about the arena being on the way of the Horde, which, as we've seen from the previous hints, is Chunky Kong. And I forget about the other one, so hopefully we'll be able to see that again soon if Danilio goes...
So one was a ballerina, one was Galleon Caverns Foolish? I think that's what it was?
Yes. I think that was it too.
And where was the ballerina? Where did it say?
Battle Arena is on the way of the Horde, but we know that has Chunky. Also, was that a white vial that I saw just in the DK ground banana?
It was, and you can get that.
Ooh, okay. So hopefully a training move there we can get.
There's a vial in the shop for Tiny. We do not have Tiny yet. Or, I'm sorry, we do have Tiny.
Yeah, I assume we don't have the correct amount of coins, but this rainbow coin should hopefully allow this.
Now we do. Turn around.
Alrighty, what do we have in stores today?
Still not enough.
Wow.
Andrea also does not have enough. They are going to pass. There is some accessible tiny coins, so they'll probably be coming back there later.
Oh yeah, right. I was trying to figure that out. On the Hive Tunnel, there's 3. Yeah, so they will be able to get it before leaving, but depends on how they decide to route in the Hive Tunnel Kasplats. Alrighty, and boss number 2, is it going to have the goods? Wanting to see at least one vial on the bosses today.
Alright, we got diggers.
And we do!
Alright, we're going to go ahead and see what this is.
It is a blue vial, okay.
Oh, it's vanilla. Vanilla to the level, not vanilla to the order.
Alrighty, is anyone here going to be doing the strats for this fight?
Danilio's trying, but
unfortunately failed that.
it's a little hard to do with Diddy. Diddy is a very slow barrel carrier. And Andrea just carrying that barrel straight into Armadillo's head.
Yeah, Andrea has obviously had a little bit more experience in this, starting behind Danilio but finishing in front, leaving us with a trombone. Okay, not a bad find here from both players.
Yeah, there's some strats you can do to speed up Armadillo. It's not an auto-scroller.
Alrighty, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was a little bit expensive to get into Forest as well. So both players here are going to be trying to build their GB count as quick as possible to actually get their fourth con. So quick routing of japes is one of the best ways you can do that, while also getting key 4 over here.
And Danilio was probably thinking like, oh, key 2, there it is. But then it's key 4. So now he has to really think about what he missed.
Hopefully he does realize to go back to caves soon, though. Because Danilio did get hinted key 2, yeah? So Danilio would know that it's in caves?
Yeah, he should know. I don't know if he does, but he should. Caves Tiny was specifically called out.
Maybe he thinks he needs ponytail, twirl, or saxophone to get it. Alright, and both the two getting ready to go get this training move that's at the front.
We see the full suite being cleared here on the side of Danilio, while Andrea's only going to opt to do the 4 huts. But Danilio knows he's got to get the ferry, so that's what he's doing right here. Well, he's trying to. There we go.
Smart call getting all these early fairies. Because if I remember correctly, the way the logic works with the fairies is that item will only be in logic if you have 6 available fairies. So how quickly are we going to get access to these? We also had vine swinging down on the DK golden banana there.
And there's sacks as well.
Yeah, well, hopefully that saxophone will at least draw Danilio back to caves and hopefully go and get this key too. Although he's probably going to be in for a shock knowing it's not in the igloo. Alright, Danilio picking up Vine Swinging and now on the way to get those tiny coins to buy what we now know as Saxophone.
A little bit of a high five there moment, as Andrea is done and going to level 3. Meanwhile, Danilo still needs sax, still needs key 2.
Did I miss a rainbow coin by Andrea as well? Because Andrea went to Hive Tunnel after getting Saxophone.
It's possible. Clearly, I'm not caught up on marking things on here, so I'm going to do that. Hopefully, we're better now.
Alright, everything seems updated now. Cool. So, Danilio now on the way back to caves to hopefully find key 2.
Yo,
while
legendary
Andrea
check,
goes
legendary
to-
check. Aww.
Shame. I mean, that's one of 2. Still could be potentially be the other.
Oh, I see. I'm missing all the keys. That's what's wrong. Go. We're gonna see some lobby 5 hints here, and we got factory.
So that barrel is actually needed, so we do need to go and find those peanuts and rocket barrel for whatever that 2% mini game holds in stock for us.
Kind of a worthless hint there. Tiny Temple Foolish.
Ooh, 5-door ship Chunky K. Rool. We're getting a lot of Chunky K. Rool hints, which is mildly concerning. I believe we are on 3 out of 5 K. Rool hints, and they're all chunky.
No, there's nothing wrong here. Nothing at all.
No, sorry, my mistake.
Ooh, nice manipulating of DK kicks to get to this dirt patch. It's hard to get to. And another banana. Danilio's been finding all the banana medals. Unfortunately, this is not an NSAC race, which is another kind of race you can do. There's different settings for that.
Also, unfortunately, have jetpack disabled for those wondering. So in these particular settings, banana medals are completely useless, which is quite a shame when they show up where you are expecting to find things.
Perhaps in a future season we'll do something with them. You know, put rareware coin in the pool. Just, you know, the good stuff.
Oh yeah, give me some good old jetpack DK arcade. Love me those. Oops, all beaver bother.
All right, Danilio coming in here thinking that coming here and thinking this is the path to key 2. It's not gonna get him key 2, but it may get him something else.
Yeah, fingers crossed it is at least worth it, but either way, Andrea, once routing in this Chunky Kasplat, will be going and getting Chunky.
Oh, no!
Oh! I hate to see that. Oh!
And taking the fall of shame from the Kasplat. No rocket barrel, so it's not easy to get back up at all. Still no key 2 on the side of Danilio. I'm hoping this is him going to key 2 right now.
Yeah, It looks to be going straight for it, which is good at least. Can then move on to Forest now. The Splat knockback in this game is absolutely ridiculous at points. top of production, top of treasure room, so many places where if you're just a little bit off, you just get knocked off the entire platform.
You can always play your instrument to be extra safe.
We also have a lengthy mile in that shop, which I don't believe we have been hinted towards a Lenky's location yet, if I'm not mistaken.
We have. It was. I can't remember if it was DK Factory or. No, it was DK Factory.
DK Factory, which is a level 5. Okay, so we'll have a little bit before we potentially will get that vial.
Factory shops, key 8. Caverns is foolish. Yeah, for those who have not really seen a DK64 randomizer race, both players are playing on the same seed. The wrinkly hints are given hints as where things are randomized where you can beat the game. And you, obviously, golden bananas, moves, pearls, fairies, all mixed, not fairies, blueprints, all mixed into the pool here. So different things can be in different places. Thanks for a really fun new way to experience DK64. The best game on the Nintendo 64, of course. We have a chunky sighting.
Yeah, with these particular settings we have enabled as well, your goal is to beat K Rule and go through the final level of the game, Hideout Hell, getting key 8. Normally you have to do 5 rooms and 5 fights in those 2 areas with all of your cons. However, these settings, it randomly picks 3 out of those 5 for all of them. And so you want to use the hints to figure out which of the said items you actually need. And we now have Chunky Kong, who is one that you actually need all the time to get into Helm in the first place.
Alright, Chunky Kong has been acquired. Andrea is going to peace out. Danilio, oh, not quite yet. Danilio, meanwhile, is starting. So, now you know you need a pearl, but you already got one right away, so you're just going to leave. Yeah, for those watching for the first time, especially if you came from YouTube, the first several matches, even though there was only 2 players on, it was big races with a bunch of players in each one. And the qualifier results that were linked will basically show you the scores and the finish times of each and every player for each qualifier race. We've headed into bracket stage here, and this is like an actual one-on-one match. Obviously, this is like this. What you see is what you get for this one compared to like the qualifiers that were only 2 of the many people participating. The bracket stage is double elimination, so even if you lose here, there is still hope to come back. We're not going to be restreaming all of... That's another pearl. That's 3 pearls I think we've seen so far.
That's crazy.
We're not going to be restreaming every single bracket match, but we are going to be restreaming a lot of them, so...
And all the individual streamers themselves will be streaming on their own Twitch pages as well. So feel free to go check out all of those streamers when they are racing. There'll be a bunch of races happening every week for the next month and a bit. So definitely go check those out. There's some really good races in this particular tournament. So hopefully we get an amazing run.
That's clutch snipe from Andrea. Oh my goodness.
That was a ridiculous snipe.
Yes, if you join the DK64 Discord, our events tab has every match that will be restreamed. We do 1 round a week, so obviously we don't like throw them all on there at one time. So once the new round starts, that's when new matches will be added.
And the bracket itself, if you want, if no one else has it linked in the chat, is also in the server as well. And you can see who is in it, who's up against who, and see everyone's spicy predictions for who's going to make it all the way through winner's side. Shout outs to JX Jacob.
As you can see, the cops have been added to the randomizer pool here for the enemies, and they can actually catch you and throw you to the beginning of the level. Gotta watch out.
Yeah, in Forest, they are very notorious for, how do I word this? Not working.
Yeah, but that bug will be fixed.
Oh, yeah.
Not for season 2, but it will be fixed. Alright, Andrea checking the boss here. I can imagine Andrea's gonna be close to being done. Oh no! Oh, that was that far of a fall. But now
Yeah,
figure out
that
your way
luckily
back
was
up.
not too bad.
Anyway. Going back here, Andrea's gonna be fighting this boss, but like, in order to go to level 4, you need diving. So, diving has to be in one of the first 3 levels before... Sorry, I don't want to say first 3 levels. It has to be obtained before you enter level 4, logically, in Randomizer. So...
That is our second boss vial, interesting.
That is a purple one. Puff Toss. Puff Toss is a lot scarier when you only have 1 melon.
I try to forget every single time I have died to this boss, because this feels like the boss that you shouldn't die, and yet everyone still dies at least once to this guy.
We have a question. Do we know what K. Rool is yet? So, there are two places you can find out where K. Rool is. So hints, but they all for K. Rool it's hinted 1 Kong at a time. So we've only been hinted that Chunky fights K. Rool, and the room right before Key 8 and Hideout Helm will also tell you all 3 of the Kongs that fight K. Rool. So there are 2 places you can check.
Sorry, you go.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say that in these particular settings, you are guaranteed 5 wrinkly door hints to tell you the con order. So hopefully you want like a 2-2-1 spread. However, we currently have 3 chunky hints, so there is a chance we may not get hinted towards one of the cons.
DK does not require any moves to fight K. Rool, so if he's involved with K. Rool, you probably aren't going to be seeing more than 2 Kong hints. That doesn't mean it's impossible for there to be other Kongs. Like, for instance, all of my K. Rool fight hints were all 1 Kong in the seed I played earlier, even though I needed moves for other Kongs. So it really varies. It's randomizer.
It can go any way you want. You could have hints toward every hint be towards Chunky. And then suddenly you get told, oh yeah, you have a Diddy and a Tiny phase as well, and you knew nothing about that. So you hope that you have needed those moves up until that point. Otherwise, you might need to go searching for those.
We have a Featherbow sighting on Puff Toss here. So Troffin's Golf, we found 2 things so far. We found Trombone, that was in the Japes boss. And now we got Featherbow, that was in the Fungi Forest boss.
Which we do not know our Helm order at the moment. So that Trombone potentially needed, but we have no idea either. And Trombone is a very unique instrument in that it is the only instrument required for K. Rool as well. So getting Trombone is really good. It potentially gets you a Helm and a K. Rool phase.
Andrea does not have key 4, so they're missing a little bit of context that Danilio already has in regards to hints. I can't remember where key 4 was. It was probably over here. You remember it all?
E4 was in the Jape Stormy Tunnel, and I'm pretty sure I did watch Andrea get it, just might not be marked on the tracker.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure I watched Andrea get it anyways.
You know, I think you're right. I think you're right. Because I have it marked down as that they don't.
Yeah, when in doubt, just follow what the trackers are on the individual person's streams anyways. They did get key 4, yeah, okay, noted. So either it's forgotten they've got key 4 or not, because has not actually gone to lobby 5 yet, so very curious about that there.
So I have an interesting thought here, okay? I have a suspicion that diving is on the ferry reward. I think there are exactly 5 ferries in logic here in play. So I think that's what it's going to have them do.
What ferries do we have? We have the ferry in the back of Japes. We have the ferry in Tiny's Cave. The ferry at BFI. How many ferries do we have in Logic at the moment? Yeah, I reckon diving is there as well, but I'm not sure if there are actually a bunch of logical fairies at the moment. There are fairies that you can definitely get, but I'm not sure if the moves are out there. Unless if I'm forgetting all my fairies. Hopefully the 2 players are not forgetting their fairies like I am.
So you can get both Japes fairies because you have, well, obviously we saw Danilio get one. You can access the other one in the hive with Featherbone Mini Monkey. That's good there. Wait, that is where the other fairies are. No, you can't get that fairy. That's not a fairy. I'm an idiot. So you can get 1 fairy in Japes. We got 1 fairy in Caves. You can't get the other one in Caves or Japes, so that's 2. Forest, you can get... You can get the Forest Lobby, the really dumb one. You can get the one...
Yeah, that one.
You can get the one in DK, the DK Mill, and you can get the one in the Diddy Mill that you need to get. Well, no, you can't because you need Simeon Spring.
You need Strong Con and Spring.
Oh,
as
and
well.
then there's the ferry
them.
by Ferryhead. So there is 5 in Logic.
Yeah, something that was also actually just brought up in chat as well is tag anywhere. For those that don't know, in the actual randomizer itself, there's a bunch of quality of life settings that have been enabled. Some like a few minor bug fixes or just a few things added just to, make life a lot easier throughout the randomizer. But one of the biggest things you have is tag anywhere. You can see at the top right of both players' screens that there is a D-pad there. You can just press D-pad left, D-pad right, and just instantly swap to whatever other cons you have rather than needing to find tag barrels. It makes movement and it makes collection of items and small bananas so much easier in this randomizer, as opposed to needing to go backtrack to the same one area 5 times to get everything. And
and there's pineapple.
And one thing you might see quite a number of times in this seed, in fact, you might even see now, depending on what Andrea goes to do, is you can use Tag Anywhere to actually go and grab items that you normally wouldn't be able to.
Like that.
Andrea's opting to jump up to do that with Diddy. You can also make those jumps with DK or Tiny with Ponytail 12. There's a lot of ways you can actually navigate these gaps here. And that's what makes Tag Anywhere so good. You can do some amazing things with it.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Danilio is going to end up doing the Diddy Mill here. Nope.
I'm wondering if it's crossing the mind of either of these 2 players to go grab all these fairies, because there hasn't been much fairy collection aside from in Japes, if I remember correctly.
Danilio has 1 extra one in Japes, but otherwise doesn't look like there is. No, factory. Ooh, factory lobby. I don't think counts. Even though they can access it, it still has to be level 4's lobby or earlier.
That is a point. I didn't even think about that. That being said, I don't think that will stop either players from actually going and potentially doing that, as it is a quick check. But logically, no, that will not be contributing towards BFI if that is indeed diving. Could be slam, could be a slam as well, because we do have a chunky phase.
Danilio is going to go get this ferry over here. So I believe someone in chat actually said this is out of logic because of no strong Kong, which I believe is correct.
That is correct, yeah. But both the two forest fairies right now are out of logic. They actually don't have too many that they can get in logic, but they do have a number that they can actually go and grab if need be, which is very interesting. It's not often that you have out of logic fairies. Most of the time, they're all hard locked behind items. So I wonder if both players will take advantage of that, or if they'll wait to find the logical items to grab it.
Now, I think Danilio has 3 fairies? Question mark?
It seems to be the case, yeah. Which Danilio has not gotten the fairy that's at BFI, I don't think.
Neither has gotten the Banana Fairy Head Island Fairy, but like that should be the last one you get.
Yeah. So I wonder what 4th one Danilio has planned to grab. And Danilio is about to go and get our pineapple launcher here at the Boulder and Japes. I actually do think Andrea has forgotten that she has gotten key 4.
Alright, so we're interesting if this is a bean check, or if the bean check has something.
Is this a bean seed? We are about to find out.
It is!
There is
possibly
something!
It'd be funny if the bean was just right here. Yo, where are the bean levers in my chat?
Now, I couldn't get a good look at that particular vial as well. Do you know what color that was?
I think that was clear, pretty sure.
Ooh, okay. And we have Sax and Mini Monkey. Ooh, okay. That has some potential.
Andrea cannot do the apple saving Golden Banana, not without Hunky Chunky. Oh my god, someone made a GIF emote of the beanstalk. That's great.
Yeah, that is a beautiful emote. So here is the real question. Is that an experience? I'm looking forward to seeing this seed pan out. This looks nice.
Another junk item, man.
We are just not finding a lot. We are 45 minutes in, and we have a few instruments and guns, but that is about it. I'm wondering where all of our moves are.
Neither player has still gone for the fungi lobby fairy. I hope both of them are aware that's there. Oh, did we get the bean?
Ooh.
I missed it.
Or did we get the bean? Oh, it's chunky metal. Oh, we both missed that.
Chunky metal in forest? I would assume so.
Alright, well, we have the bean check. Here's the question. What is the bean check? Are we going to swim? Are we going to throw oranges? Are we going to be able to play more music?
I think... Ooh, it's gonna be very close here for Danilio to see if he gets it.
Ooh, I think might be a couple off. It's diving!
Diving on the bean check, wow.
Alrighty, remind me who made this seed. That person deserves a hug.
They got... The seed has been kind of iffy so far, but they just bailed out the seed by putting diving there.
Yeah, it evens everything up. All
Yeah,
right.
so now it's going to depend how quickly can Danilio get Chunky's medal here. I missed the first hint, unfortunately.
First hint was Lenky 2 door. Oh, sorry, Lenky 2 ship and galleon is on the way of the Horde.
Lanky Galleon, two-door ship, Aztec Chunky Metal is Wath.
And R&D key 5, okay. And Andrea also has the exact amount of GBs to enter Aztec.
We just got the bean on the side of Danilo here. He's just going to run straight back and turn in that bean and plant it.
Yeah, both players also getting diving within a few minutes of each other. So honestly, relatively close. But that being said, Danilio does need a few more GBs to get into level 4. So we'll need to go find a few of those. And this cop...
Oh my god, the screen vibrators was making him miss. Now, it appears Danilio is probably a couple minutes behind Andrea currently here. Even though he's got the diving now, but he cannot enter level 4 Aztec, and he doesn't know that yet.
No, is not too far off, fortunately, but does need to find a quick way of getting together 2 or 4 golden bananas, depending on if he wants to dump those blueprints. Now, what we know about Aztec as well is that Chunky's medal is something. And since we have Pineapple, Chunky's Medal is a very quick check. So, wondering what we'll find there. Oh, our first instrument upgrade. One of the most important things you can find in this game is lets you hold more instrument power. Very powerful thing in the random.
I will say for new players though, something important to note about the instrument upgrade chain is that it's a 3-tiered upgrade that it gets you instrument upgrade 1, so you have more instrument power. The second upgrade is actually the third melon. So if for new players, finding that second instrument upgrade to get the third melon is really solid, especially for survivability.
And it can be very useful on some settings you play on, because you can have settings on where, enemies do extra damage. Maybe the water is lava, which, yes, many people have rocked those settings. So finding instrument upgrades in those settings are honestly a really good thing. In these settings, aside from just having an extra bit of health, they unfortunately don't do too much.
A few moments later.
All right, there we go. I am back, I think.
We are indeed back, yes.
Fortunately, I don't think we missed much. I believe Bongo Blast was on Chunky's banana medal in Aztec.
That is correct. We do now have bongos, so we know that is required. And still, we have not actually found our our Helm Order hint yet. That being said, we have almost everything you would need for any of the Helm rooms, no matter what. Which, for those that don't know, are the instruments for each com. And if you have a Diddy Helm phase, you also need Rocket Barrel to get up there, plus any potential gun upgrade or anything required for said minigames. So the fact that we're so close to that means that we probably don't have to worry too much about Helm requirements.
Andrea's about to open the door. Danilio still about a couple minutes behind. This is a pretty solid race overall. Kind of close, not super close. So it could go anyone's way.
Oh yeah, 100%. That is the one thing that can be brutal about this game, is especially with cops in the pool. Ooh, Simeon Spring. Due to how volatile some checks can be in this game, or cops potentially forcing you back to the start of the level, there's no such thing as a close lead in this. Any little thing can put one person over the other. So the fact that these two are still relatively close, at this rate, anything can honestly happen. Which is good. You want races like this.
A little bit of a shop visit here. So as you can probably tell, maybe if you watch a couple of these on YouTube before, you're not really sure what you're seeing. With the shops, you can have up to 3 people being able, or up to 3 Kongs being able to purchase things from the shops. If there is a shared move, which obviously you'll see all 5 Kongs on there, in like one graphic, that means there's only one item, but any Kong can buy it.
And with the actual moves themselves, you've got con moves, but you also have what's known as family moves, which con moves are basically only one specific con can use that, such as Chunky has Primate Punch, DK has Coconut Gum. But family vials are the ones that affect everyone, such as your vine swinging, your diving, your instrument upgrades, your homing ammo. And so with the shops, if you end up finding a vial that every single con can purchase, you know it's one of the family vials or the white vials that you see around. So early game, finding those are really, really good. But it's something just to be aware of. You cannot find Chunky on his own purchasing diving, say for instance.
Still no sign of Lanky Kong. Lanky Kong is in level 5 factory, which they have not been to yet. Of course, we still have no signs of what Kong's required for a hideout helm. But all signs point to, at the very least, that Lanky hideout helm or K rule could be required because you already have the trombone. So there are some seeds where you can skip Kongs. It's not a very common thing, though.
No, not common at all. And most likely we will have DK in Helm because we were directly hinted, well, funny enough, Bongo Blast. So that does have some chance there as well, but who knows? That's something we'll have to wait until we actually have received the hint for.
Bongo Blast has been acquired on the side of Danilio.
And we also have a ring stand inside the Funky shop. Now, what both players are also really wanting to do is to build up GB count, because you not only do you need a certain amount of golden bananas to enter all the levels, Hideout Helm is set to 60 golden bananas. So in the race settings, you don't need any more than 60 golden bananas at any given point. The earlier you grab golden bananas, the sooner you can enter levels if you have access to them. And both the two really wanting to get into level 5 to find Lanky. Which I believe Andrea still probably doesn't think that she has K4, or just hasn't gone and checked the hints for it yet. So I'm wondering what is happening there, because we definitely want to go into factory as soon as we can.
Yeah, we know factory is 25, so not that much more than entering Aztec was. I would not be surprised if Andrea does Chunkies here, though, and Tiny's. Tiny's is pretty quick, and Chunky gives you 3 checks in the back, so very beneficial to just do them.
Yeah, 100%. Alright, we're at a very healthy GB count for Andrea here. If you're wanting to get sub 2 hour times in a lot of these settings, then generally speaking around 30 golden bananas at the 1 hour point is a pretty safe bet to grabbing those. So she's on a good pace for golden bananas at this point. While Danilio's not too far behind, honestly. It still will be enough to enter factory though, so that is what you want.
Curious to see if Danilio is going to opt to do some of the 5-door temple. I think it's definitely beneficial to do Chunkies at the very least, but he also might be like, hey, I know factory is a lot of stuff. I have more than 25 golden bananas. I want to go there right now. So I would not be surprised if he just leaves after this.
Yeah, I feel that is the play personally, but doing some of those checks, not a bad idea if you are in the neighborhood.
Andrea looks like they're going to opt to stay here and possibly go to, not Tiny Temple, but the Llama Temple. It looks like Danilio is in fact going to go check 5-door temple.
It looks like going straight to Chunkies potentially.
Yeah, that just looks like a play of I'm going straight to Chunkies. I don't really care about anything else here.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing here is really hinted too much, so It's the awkward thing about an Aztec that is unhinted, is do you go and do the checks, or do you go to where you know the keys are and come back later? It's always a very awkward call to make, because someone who goes to these places just to do checks and find the items
Oh,
early.
I see why you wanted to do this, because there's a ferry here, but it's on the other side.
Oh.
I
That
wonder
makes
if
a lot
Andrea
of sense.
remembers the ferry. I think it's technically... The ferry standing right here is a lot freer, which I'm assuming why Andrea went for that one instead. Actually,
Yeah,
no,
Andrea
it's not
still
freer.
needs a
It's
couple.
zooming.
Yeah, Andrea still needs a few fairies. Seems to only have one at this point. So probably opting to get a few of those, while Danilio only needs to grab one and is then set.
So you can actually pause bar for the ferry shots. Oh, just missed that. Yeah, you can pause bar for the ferry shots to make this easier. There we go.
Alright, sweet, we got it.
All right, now I think I would not be surprised if Danilio just leaves after this, but he also might opt to go into the Llama Temple like Andrea did. We'll see.
Yeah, it's a few quick checks, especially if you have the correct instrument to go to where you normally would free Lanky. Which is the funny thing about that check as well, is normally, if people remember, it's Diddy, I believe, who would normally unlock Lanky in that particular spot in the vanilla game. But because of the old 1.0, 1.5 settings where the cons were always in vanilla locations, the instrument required there is always random, which is one of the few places in the game where the check that you have is actually a random com. Which I feel a lot of people that were only here for 2.0 wouldn't actually know that, so might get a little confused seeing that instrument pad be anything different.
We're seeing a very interesting trick done by Andrea here. This is going to potentially give you the ability to get that dirt. Oh, well, not anymore.
Oh
no. Well, if she did that right, Andrea would have been able to pull, like she would have been able to tag the Kong, a different Kong, jump up as Diddy, then tag a different Kong, and then pull up to grab the dirt patch. Wasn't able to get it there though.
Which fortunately was just a banana medal in the end of the day, I believe. So not the end of the world that she didn't end up getting that, but obviously she doesn't know that.
All right, we're gonna see Danilio going into level 5 factory. Not really sure what Andrew's doing at the moment. I think collecting some more, want some banana medals. Now, I can't remember if we got a Japes hint for medals or not, but that appears to be what she's doing.
I think one thing she's doing is getting medals on the way to grabbing the fairy.
Yeah.
Also, may be a little bit worried about key 4. Might still think she doesn't have it, and it is inside the Stormy Tunnel where you do get it. Actually, yeah, she went for the barrel tech, so yeah, she does not know that she has key 4.
Well, that's very unfortunate.
Yeah, hopefully she finds out soon, but I wonder how she's going to find out. There is a checks menu inside the pause menu, for those that don't know, so you can actually go into your pause menu and see what items you do have. However, if you don't know to need to look at that, then you're not going to be going there. So hopefully Andrea realizes this soon, otherwise she's going to be blindly looking for what she already has before trying to enter factory, which Danilio is in right now and will hopefully be getting lanky soon enough. Now that is a really clever peak Danilio just went for as well. Top of production, it takes a while to get to, but does have a few quick checks if you get up there. And through the glass panels on the side, you can potentially peak the lanky check, the tiny check, and the kasplat that are all the way at the top. So it tells you if you need to go up to the top of production or not. So really clever peak.
We've confirmed no Japes metal hint. So maybe Andrea was just in there to look for key 4, but can't tell her that. It's a race. They'll have to figure out themselves.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully figures out soon, because key 5 is hinted to be inside of factory, or at least something in the R&D area is there. So
at the very least, Andrea is getting golden bananas, so it's not a total loss.
No, not a total loss. Danilio just casually going straight through the walls there. Classic.
It's gonna be interesting if Andrea does find something, like, luckily, out of, like, without a hint. Because that could definitely change up the dynamic of the race for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%. Especially considering that, based on hints, we know we need a rocket barrel and peanuts. So finding one of those in these early levels might swing things in her favor a little bit.
This is one of the hardest balloons in the game. I'm not even kidding. That balloon pattern sucks.
I have lost many ammo to that balloon.
So thinking ahead to R&D, because we know key 5 is there. Presuming you get lanky here at some point, because it's locked by a DK check. Presuming you get lanky, you can do the piano game in there. You can do the race car game with Tiny. You cannot do the Diddy one. You cannot do the chunky one. So presumably key 5 is going to be on one of those 3 checks.
Yeah, not DK. Lanky can only be on a few checks. There's a few DK checks here in Factory that actually cannot be done, needing Baboon Blast being one of the big ones. Baboon Blast and Gorilla Grab. Now, there is a logic with the settings we have enabled today, which is that you are guaranteed to find 3 of your cons before level 4, 4 of your cons before level 5, and 5 of your cons before level 6. So if it turns out that we cannot actually find Lanky here, then that means the first 5 levels and anything associated with those can potentially have your moves. So hopefully we do find Lanky, otherwise we're going to have to potentially go for a bit of a visit to all of the levels so far to find our missing moves.
Hate to spoil you, but it was hinted that DK Factory does have Lanky. But if we weren't hinted that, that would be correct.
Oh, I was saying that you might need Baboon Blast or Gorilla Grab for it.
Yes.
So you would potentially need to search the 5 levels to find those moves if you don't find Lanky.
All right, up to the upper part of Factory we go. Will it be on the counting game?
We actually cannot do the counting game is the thing. We actually do not have a slam.
Oh, we don't have a slam.
Which we do know that White Vial is on BFI. That has a chance of actually being a slam. So that might be what we are looking for. But we're also about to get something from the shop here, so maybe? Oh, Monkey Port. That's a really good pull.
Monkey Port on the factory shop for Funky. I believe that one was hinted. It was.
Yeah, I was a bit worried about that. I'll delay my commentary by about 10 seconds.
Or I can just refresh, which I did.
That also works.
Does Andrea not realize they have key 4? We think that's the case, but we're not really sure.
Yeah, key 4 was on the Kasplat Stormy Tunnels in Japes, and I'm pretty sure we saw Andrea go for it, but maybe thinks that might have been key 7 or something. We're not entirely sure, but has not actually visited Factory Lobby yet.
Surprised no one's visited the ferry yet. I think that has a decent chance of just being Slam 1 or Slam 2.
My guess is that Danilio is going to go there after this, because we now have our 5th ferry, which is on the way. But Danilio also probably does not completely realize that it needs Slam for this check. No, it's just here for bananas. That is fair enough.
Yeah, he'll get the last one in the power hut coming up here. In the meantime, he can do 2 checks in R&D. Oh, Andrea, did they see it? We saw the checks. Right. There's key 4. Key 4 was on the screen. They have to know now, right?
Hopefully. Oh, it's not looking like it.
Oh, this is so unfortunate.
Oh,
You can enter level 5. You can enter level 5.
Just look at your tracker, Andrea. Just your tracker screen. Just look at it. It tells you you've got it.
Oh no.
Just go back a screen. Just go back a screen. Come on. Just go back to the other screen.
No, go back.
No.
Yes. Look at key 4.
Yes.
Good. Yes. Come on. Let's go.
We got it. Yes. Alrighty.
Okay. The race is back on, everyone. Oh, we have a baboon blast. Okay,
okay. So potentially we've got a very stronger chance of finding Lenky here. Currently, there are only 2 checks that DK cannot do, which is the battle arena, which I don't actually know if that would even count as a DK check.
That's not a DK check. Oh,
yeah.
It's probably gonna be. Is it gonna be a baboon blast? Oh, he left. You can do baboon blast.
Really going for the ferry?
Yeah,
okay,
probably just doing the ferry now.
Okay, well, very happy Andrea noticed that. I was getting very worried. But Andrea is also now on 45 golden bananas entering factory. Considering how many golden bananas that Danilio got inside of factory, I don't think golden bananas are going to be a problem for her. But we still got to catch up on all our moves.
Yep. It's going to be, I think,
it's orange
throw.
Huh. Oh. Well, we have saxophone and guitar. That being said, does Danilio want to go back to caves?
Looks like that. Also, that answer is no.
Danilio has also not marked blast. Oh, but Danilio knows that he has blast. He's going for a blast check.
Lowlands was hinted double wave the hero, so this isn't surprising to me.
Hopefully Danilio realizes after this that there is a blast check I'm sorry, not in Japes. This is Japes. In Factory.
It's key 5! What a play!
Oh, what a pull! What a play here. Okay, so now Danilio has every key, access to pretty much every hint accessible in the game, but still needs to go and get Lanky.
I don't know if Danilo cares about that right now. He's just going straight for the hints. Don't blame him.
I mean, who knows? I don't know if how many Lanky things have actually been hinted this seed. I know Lanky 2-door here has been hinted, but for all we know, Lanky may only be required for 1 or 2 minor things for the rest of the seed. So it might not impact too much.
But this also, is interesting. This is super duper required. And Shipyard Outskirts is key 8.
Oh no. We are on the hunt for 2 slam upgrades.
And 54.
That was our 4th chunky hint, by the way.
Oh, here's Blastomatic.
Here we go.
Lanky, DK Chunky.
Okay, so that trombone and bongos pull were required. The question is, where is triangle? Maybe triangle is... Actually, yeah, triangle would have to be in Lanky 2 chip.
Oh man, this is gonna be impossible. Not like this seed. We have no slams right now.
I don't think we've seen any more clear vials anywhere, so I don't know if we know where any of those are at the moment. They may be in some of our hinted areas, but we have not seen any more clear vials.
Alright, 5 more hints. Let's see what they are. Factory colored bananas is dead. Oh, that's another Japes Lowlands. That's triple key hinted Japes Lowlands, ladies and gentlemen. That's incredible.
Now, there's a chance that might have just been pineapple to get diving, but we also haven't found peanut pop guns yet. There are 2 unpeaked checks that you can find at the start of Lowlands, so maybe peanuts are what we are looking for.
Creme Isle is path to key 7. They obviously already got that.
That is
Oh
fine.
my.
Oh no. We have received every single K-roll hint and all 5 are chunkies. That means we do not know 2 of our K-roll phases. Now, to be fair, we can do every K-roll phase except for Chunky and Diddy, and we know we need Rocket Peanuts, so it's not necessarily the end of the world. But where is Peanuts and Rocket Barrel?
So this case play makes sense to me, right? Because you got oranges, it's in a... I'm not sure if that was hinted or anything, but like you have to check these 5-door cabinet. You have to check the cabins area now. It's gonna be interesting to see if Barrel Blast does have Lanky here, because that will give Andrea the edge back again. Oh. And just realize that you cannot do that. Oh, the snap! First try right there.
That was a really good snap.
I don't think we got any castle hints. Not even like hinted dead. I just don't think we got any.
Castle is completely unhinted, and it is a very awkward spot to potentially go at the moment. So I got no idea what the smart plays are at the moment, or at least for finding slams. Now, here's the important question.
Andrea
when it
didn't
comes
do
to
the Baboon Blast either.
Oh no. I think both going
Unless
to
she turns,
potentially
she might
miss
just turn
Lanky here.
around. She might turn around. I hope she turns around.
Right now is going to do the entirety of production, which I don't believe had any hints towards it. Oh no. Making these jumps into production is one of the hardest things to do in this game, I swear.
Nice first try of one of the hardest rooms of the game by Danilio. It's another medal.
Alrighty. And we got one more check to see if grabbing the fairies was actually required or not. Oranges are not really required for too much in this game. They're only really required for 3 checks. And this is our 3rd potential check. The other one being the Japes Beehive. That being said, we had saxophone for that. Once those claptraps get in the corner, it is very hard to hit them. Alrighty, it seems that oranges were, in fact, not required this seed.
And I don't think Danilio checked the factory boss, so we're gonna have a new check here.
Oh yeah, this is also a potential location to find Lanky here.
Alright, factory colored bands are foolish. Andrea doesn't know that yet.
Oh, is that a hint from a later lobby?
Yep. It's a later hint.
Well, that basically tells us that we know exactly where Lanky is then.
It's on Baboon Blast and neither of them checked it.
Well, let's see if Andrea goes and checks that right now. Oh, he's in production still.
Andrew's getting very close to being able to access Galleon, but like accessing Galleon's not gonna do you good.
No, it's not.
Not without
But
two
also,
slams.
But Andrea does not know that at the moment as well, because has not found
Oh,
K5.
there's
He's now
Baboon
doing the
Blast.
blast.
And Danilio's also going back, so maybe we'll see a Baboon Blast too.
And there's only 4 GBs between them, and there we have it. We have all of our cones.
Did you tag Orp one? Yes. Okay, we're gonna get Lanky
Right.
Kong here too. Alright, this means we're roughly even again. I think Andrea's still got the advantage because of the slight golden banana advantage here, but it's a pretty close race right now. It really depends on what they decide to do next.
Yeah, Andrea appears to be going to the forest shops to go see what the Lanky Vial is. And forest shops, I believe, were hinted to Chunky K. Rule. So this might be something important here. However, Andrea also hasn't gone and gotten Key 5 from the blast in Japes yet. So is 10 hints shy.
Ooh, Rocket Barrel. Good
Ooh,
find.
Okay. Did we find anything else in the forest shops is the question, because that might be telling us that the cave's barrel has something for Chunky K. Rule.
Well, We can't do that one yet because no peanuts.
Yeah, Andrea does not know that, and I think Andrea is actually about to go find out. Looks to be going straight for that particular barrel.
Very unfortunate there, but there are still a couple things Andrea can check in here, like we're gonna get another hint that we haven't seen yet. Okay, well, that doesn't do us any good. There is one more Way of the Horde hint out there still, from what I can tell.
I believe they've checked every hint at this particular point. I cannot think of another hint they wouldn't have checked.
Wait, Andrea didn't do that guitar check. Training with guitars hinted.
I believe late lobbies were hinted foolish.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, you're right, you're right. Still might be worth it to see if it's a golden banana, though. And Andrea's about to see that they cannot do this barrel and have to leave. They're gonna try to shoot and then be very sad.
We're gonna have to come back later for that one. Oh wait, is Danilio going back to the barrel? I think Danilio's going back to the barrel.
Clearly, Danilio is going to do the out of logic, ridiculous tiny thing. Right.
Oh, surely we see that. Yeah, Danilio already checked this and knows what minigame it is.
Danilio knows what this is. I'm not
completely
sure
forgotten.
what's happening here.
3, 2,
And
1,
3, 2, 1. And now.
There we go.
Oh no.
Oh, that is so unfortunate. Alrighty. But now, how many more hinted things do we have left that they could do is the real question. Because some of the hinted things we know about are locked behind other items like Super Duper and Peanuts.
So
here's the real question.
There is one thing about Galleon that is kind of enticing here. The Galleon Medal Rewards is Path to Chunky K rule. That could possibly help them with something. That could get them a slam.
It could be a slam, could be peanuts. There's a few things that could potentially be, but it's looking like the majority of what our two players here are missing is basically everything for Chunky K rule. They've got not everything else, but the majority of everything else. They do need a triangle in order to beat Hell. But for the most part, what they're looking out for is that. But that is actually also a very important point. Mermaid is hinted this seed. And they both have the ability to actually do Mermaid, because all you need is to be able to swim there. So Mermaid actually should be something both two players would push towards.
And Coconut Gun, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So they can get Mermaid. They can do I think they can do every... I don't know if I want to say that. They have the ability to at least do some of the metal checks without Super Duper.
Yeah, they can do the majority of them, because they do have a few guns. But it still might be a little bit difficult to do.
Because I think you can do it, because you still can't do the two-door ship one, but you can go to the other ships. And that's the important part.
That is true. That is true.
So I'm really hoping that one of them starts pushing Galleon sooner rather than later. That's kind of what we're hoping to see.
Ooh, Danilio might be looking at the Summit Barrel check.
This is a rough seed, chat. Oh my goodness.
This is genuinely a tough seed. A lot of stuff are very well hinted. However, the two things needed to get those things don't seem to be as hinted as much, but that being said, they could just be in Galleon. And since Galleon is the level that requires the slams, it's naturally not a place you would necessarily expect to find a lot of these slams. So that might not be the first thought that crosses their mind, is to go to the slam level 4 slam.
We're getting our first look at Castle here. Now, we know nothing about Castle. Zero about Castle. I don't think anything in here... Well, there could be some things in here that potentially push you to Castle, but, like... I'm not entirely sure if this is... Maybe Danilio thinks he can get some quick golden bananas here. But,
that's what my thought is, because Danilio still needs roughly 6 golden bananas to enter, while Andrea only needs 1, not counting blueprint dumping. So it'd be in their first, getting those gold bananas does seem like the potential play, and going through the underground does give you some quick splats, shops, and some small bananas. So might be the smart play here, and if it turns out we have any unhinted slams in this particular area, that will bode well for Danilio.
All right, well, either way, Andrea is going back into Factory, and we're going to get a 3-pack for Danilio here. So I guess it still comes to the fact that, like, when will either of these players push Galleon? I think that has to be what's on our minds from commentary sandwiches alone, because that's probably the strongest area you can go to.
But that's the thing as well, is Danilio hasn't actually got key... Sorry, not Danilio. Andrea hasn't actually got key 5 yet.
That is also a good point. I don't hate this play either, right? Because Factory R&D has hinted key 5.
Yeah, obviously, so this is a very smart play.
Yeah, and obviously we got Baboon Blast from R&D area. So, like, I don't hate this play at all.
No. No, but currently Andrea doesn't have too many moves left to do to check R&D. There's not much left there at all. So hopefully we'll read the hint about the lowland soon, and then go
we're gonna
back
see the piano game.
Yo,
I hope. We're going to the piano game. Oh wait, no, it's slam locked.
Oh,
that's right.
Oh, this is rough, chat. This is very, very rough. Both players are lacking any slam upgrades here.
Who made the seed again?
I don't know if I want to dox them.
All right, Danilio.
If you're in chat, don't say. Just leave yourself hidden.
No, I think the person who made this scene will proudly say that she made it. Danilio is going to be getting 54 here, or maybe not. Probably didn't have the coin. Oh, enters with the wrong Kong again. Nope, we got it. 54. So will we see the push into Galleon now? Andrea also has 54. We are tied in golden bananas. This is not Japes, this is Forest for Andrea. Meanwhile, Danilio is going to make the play and go into Galleon here. Would not be surprised if Andrea checks the baboon. Like, it's probably going to go around and start checking all the baboon blasts, is my guess, is what's going to happen.
Yeah, potentially get a few medals on the way, but yeah, must have misread the hint for Jape's lowlands to key 5. Hopefully ends up reading that hint soon, because not going to be able to go into Galleon at this rate, and we're soon going to find out if we can find any important slams or items here, as we are about to do the mermaid check.
Oh man, both slams in Galleon. That'd be an absolutely sicko seed right there, let me tell you.
I would not be surprised if the peanuts will unlock a slam in caves. I feel like that is a potential thing that could happen.
There's
So we
so
might
much
find peanuts.
unresolved hints in other levels too from this. Like, I think this is all coming back to caves.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, quick golden banana right there, and we are not going to the mermaid. Oh, he probably just wants the other boxes.
Yeah. We'll be able to get an easy 10 on the outskirts sides. So having the amount he's got right now is a very simple thing to grab on the way to this mermaid, which I wonder what we're going to find here. I feel like this has a decent chance of being a slam.
See that mermaid? She's crying because of this seed. And another dead check in the dark upper lanky room in the mushroom.
Ooh, white
It's
vial.
clear.
Is
It's
this
clear.
Oh, and we have a cutscene. And
Drum roll.
yeah, we got a slam.
Okay. It was in fact a slam. Wow. Okay, well, you can still do some stuff here though. You have all instruments. You can check all 5-door ship, which is hinted. You can get colored bananas. Lots of things you can do.
We actually don't have triangle at the moment, but we can at least peek the check. And considering that we know that the outskirts are on the path to key 8, I would not be surprised if we actually find triangle inside one of these spots. And 5-door was hinted to Chunky K Rule, I believe. So, got a few things we could find here. Oh, we have the other Super Duper.
Oh
We have Super
my.
Duper. Both were in level 7 Galleon. That is ridiculous.
So, medal rewards gave you super duper. Incredible.
So Danilio's in a really good spot right now. Really good spot. It seems we're going to be able to check the majority of the rest of our hinted stuff. And we're not missing too many items. At this point, we are missing what? Punch, Hunky Chunky, Triangle, and Peanuts. That seems to be what we're missing. Now, guitar was hinted to Chunky K Rule, I believe. And we know the 5 ship was hinted to Chunky K Rule. So there's a strong chance that we will potentially find something in Diddy's 5 ship. And we've also got to check Linky's 2 ship. So I wonder what we're going to be finding in these 2 areas.
In the meanwhile, Andrea is going to be getting key 5 here shortly.
Alrighty, and in theory, unless if she ends up becoming very worried about the slam upgrades, we'll hopefully push for Galleon straight away.
So now you can peek in some of the other rooms here. So there's Lanky's room. That's not going to be it. Day's room is not. You can also peek Chunky's here. Chunky's room is the one. Unfortunately, you do not have Triangle. I misspoke earlier. They do not, in fact, have all the instruments. So now you have to find Triangle somewhere.
Triangle is probably in the 2 ship, and I think Danilio is thinking the same thing as he is currently heading towards the Lanky switch.
Yep, he is going straight for that switch. Or not. Probably gonna hit both of them.
No, actually, is making the risky play, just hitting the one switch.
Oh, Lanky Galleon Tudor ship is specifically hinted, so I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
it
not
is.
super surprised, I guess. This is also probably fulfills the outskirts hint, to be fair.
Yeah, outskirts to K8. So I feel like this might be triangle, but let's take a look. And it is green. So this is most likely triangle.
It could be Primate Punch, though. It could be Hunky Chunky. Andrea going straight to Galleon as we suspected.
It is indeed triangle. So now we're going to go and see the triangle check inside of the 5 ship, most likely.
So that does fulfill the outskirts fulfillment. I'm trying to remember where that was. That was Path to Key 8. Okay, so that does fulfill that hint. Lanky Tudor's just also fill. Lanky Galleon Medal was a slam. So we're still missing Caves, Diddy, Jetpack, so we're still missing Peanuts somewhere. So maybe it's in this.
Now is...
Maybe it's in the ship? No, I don't think so, because that's Path to Chunky.
Yeah, but we also know that Rocket Barrel was on the path to Chunky K. Rool, so that vial is actually most likely Punch or Hunky Chunky. Which means we're probably actually going to be finding Peanuts inside of the Chunky 5 ship.
That was a 195 Galleon, wow.
That is almost a max roll. That is ridiculous.
No, Andrea completely skipped key. Andrea completely skipped level 6. Just went straight into Galleon. So, she is still missing some hints and some context to the seed. So I'm checking these shops and they don't have anything.
Yeah, going straight for the mermaid, it seems, potentially grabbing some banana medals, which I believe it was Lanky's banana medal that had the slam as well. So going for all of these small bananas here, like she is doing, is the smart play. If she goes the way she's going, she will soon catch up to the moves that Danilio has found here.
All right, time to find out what is here. All right, it is a hard Pearl Path Panic.
Alrighty, so we're not that many unresolved hints away from finishing. We know that guitar does get us something. I don't believe we have found anything off of guitar just yet. So odds are guitar gets us one chunky move and Peanuts gets us the other. The question is, where is this guitar move?
Now remember, anything behind the Aztec guitar door is technically on that path. I believe we just got Simian Spring behind there, so
let's punch.
Primate Punch.
Yeah, we did indeed get Spring behind there, and I do not believe Spring has actually gotten anything for us. And I don't believe we found anything else in the back of Aztec either, but we also didn't have a few moves going there, so there is still a number of unchecked locations in the back of Aztec.
All right, what is on the race? A map, oh death machine. I love it.
The names that have been put on those are absolutely amazing. If you have a vial there, I believe the wording is a bottle of grog. It's some beautiful pirate wording that has been put on the seal race. I absolutely love it.
Heading straight into Aztec is Danilio. Again, this is behind the training with guitar, so I'm not surprised this is going to be another push here.
Yeah, 100%. And right now, I believe the only thing we are missing on Danilio's side is Hunky Chunky, which we can assume is locked behind Peanuts in the Caves Barrel minigame. Andrea is slowly catching up inside of Galleon, but considering no one here has Peanuts or has any idea where Peanuts probably is, this is still potentially anyone's seed, depending on who ends up finding Peanuts first.
And I like this play again by Danilio here, trying to get the, Oh, it's that Vulture! It could be Vulture!
Is this going to be a bean, a mermaid, and a vulture seed? And a 2-boss seed? Oh, I just realized how spicy the seed is, saying that out loud. Ooh! Okay, let's see what we find.
I can't wait for it
here.
to be like third melon or something a little silly. I don't think it can be an ammo belt because we know where both of those are already.
Yeah, I believe we've also only found the one instrument upgrade, so it could very well be pretty much anything except for ammo. Alright, what do we have? Ooh, it's red. It's red.
Peanuts? No,
It's
that's
Peanuts!
What. Oh, it is Peanuts! Hey! Wow, beautiful play by Danilio there.
So, in theory, Danilio is in go mode, but it purely depends on if Hunky Chunky is actually what we find here. We know this is required, so worst comes to worst, it is a longer chain, but Danilio is set to be on the way to help in the next few minutes. While Andrea right now is clearing outskirt checks, has now received Super Duper Simian Slam. So, in theory, we'll soon head to Lanky 2 ship into Chunky ship to get Prime.
Now, it's not over yet. There could be a wrench thrown in at the very end here by some like crazy K-Rule required thing or something. So, definitely not over yet. And I believe Danilio has all the golden bananas he needs. These 2 golden bananas will put him at 58. Or he's just not going to buy the last one. He'll probably just turn in. But he has 3 blueprints he can turn in, and that will get him the 60.
That is correct, yeah. So now we'll see if this is Hunky or if we find something else. But I believe all of our hinted things have come true. So it's just down to whatever is in this particular bonus barrel.
All right, Andrea doing the peaks for these barrels from the side of the Lanky ship, which we didn't see before. And now knows...
Punch was the check that Andrea just peeked. It's inside that Chunky 5 ship, and Triangle she is probably about to go get inside of the Lanky 2 ship. Now, I didn't see the reward. What was in that bonus barrel?
So when you complete that barrel as a Kong other than Diddy, you just fall straight down.
Ah.
It is Hunky Chunky, so that is possible go mode.
I don't think there's anything else that can make it not go mode, because there is no tiny...
Oh, there is no tiny, that's right. I was thinking they could get 2% of it, but that's not the case.
Nah, still could potentially get 2%ed by Chunky. However, we have all of Chunky's moves. So right now, that is go mode for Danilio on making his way to hell. And Andrea is now about to get the triangle.
Absolutely beautiful play by Danilio to get that guitar.
Yeah, honestly, guitar being hinted on the path to something just outright is a very hard thing to think about because that's most of Aztec plus a bunch of other things in a lot of other levels. So immediately going to getting peanuts as soon as was required, very good play by Danilio, who is now entering Hideout Hell. So for those that don't know, all the Hideout Hell mini games are also randomized. These can be pretty much any game that exists, which in the Season 2 settings, we do not have Beaver Bother enabled. Sorry to all of our Beaver lovers. We also do not have Minecart Mayhem and Teetering Turtle Troubles. So any other mini game can appear inside of these.
And that's including, there's some unused bonus levels in the DK64 code that we did put in as well. So you can get some of those ones, including the Stealthy Snoop Stat hybrid game as well.
Which is a ridiculously hard one where you have to navigate around all the cops that have some very strange patterns while also collecting, I believe it is, 4 coins. The majority of the minigames are just harder versions of already existing minigames. And then there's the Zinger minigame, which is a very brutal minigame. I forget the actual name of the base game. But you have to swing on vines to collect coins, and there's some zingers in the way. It's a very
that's
rough
Speedy Swing. That's Speedy Swing Sortie.
That's it, thank you. I forget all of my minigame names.
So that one's a fun one because if you have homing ammo and a Kong with a gun, you can just take homing ammo and just kill all the bees before doing it.
Yeah, I didn't actually know that was a thing until the other day. That's a really useful thing to know because I don't actually think it's possible to do it all in one go without falling off.
Yeah, I think you do have to, like, break for at least one time. I don't know. I never know with that dumb game. Andrea now has Primate Punch, so I wonder what...
Here we go again.
Alright, we're back. Alright. I'm not sure what's going on tonight, but... I've been connected to Discord this entire time. I'm not getting kicked from Discord, because I can still hear you, Spike, but, like, Twitch just keeps throwing me out. So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know what's up. Your stream's coming back alive now.
It's gonna be one heck of a splice stream. But anyway, back to this. We are currently in go mode on the side of Danilio here, who is doing a very spooky, sneaky minigame. This is the Galleon level Stealthy Snoop, which is actually kind of a tricky one. You have to wait a lot, wait for them to go, and then you kind of squeeze past them.
Yeah, if you know the patterns, it's fine not getting caught, but doing this quick is not really an option. While the ones that are supposed to be longer than this, you can kind of just hold forward without stopping, which is kind of ridiculous, honestly. And right now, Andrea is stuck trying to figure out the potential hints. If she realizes that Guitar has not fulfilled anything, in theory she will follow Guitar hints. Otherwise, she might be worried about a potential casino seed, which is not what you want to think, even though we all know that this is actually not casino at all. So hopefully she ends up finding that hint soon.
All right, going back into force. Oh, nope.
Going into factory, apparently.
If I feel that, doing the walking around of confusion, wondering where to go next. I feel that.
Oh, it's a great feeling. Well, I mean, no, it's not, but it is. Alrighty, and it's looking like a relatively clean helm for Danilio as well, almost all the way through. And we'll actually be able to figure out what our other K-Rool phases are, because we can do them all, there's no issue, but we only know chunkies, because all of our hints were for chunky K-Rool. And after seeing all the locations of the items, honestly, fair enough. Those hints were really good hints.
Yeah, really, this was a very, like, nothing really casino about this seed. You could argue the guitar hint kind of is casino, just because there's so many places it could be, but, like, this seed's hints are really good, I think.
Oh, yeah. It's very fortunate the only thing that guitar has gotten us, or at least that we've seen from both players, was Spring and, well, funny enough, Peanuts. So, worst comes to worst, you go follow Spring checks. There's not too many of those, and I feel like a lot of players would skip the majority of those Spring checks before going and doing it. So, glad that is at least the case. But right now, I feel like maybe Andrea is also thinking guitar and Spring, maybe going to Diddy Upper Cabin or into Diddy's Igloo. Not sure if she already did the Igloo or not.
Blastomatic is shut down. We're going to be seeing the bosses shortly here.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is Diddy and DK. Where am I getting this from? Nowhere. I have absolutely no idea. You needed every move, really, for this seed, so it could honestly be all of the cons, really.
Usually if you don't see hints or prefers Kongs, oh, it's Tiny Diddy. Yeah, if you only get hints for one Kong, it skews heavily toward Kongs that you have moves for at the beginning, or DK, which doesn't require moves at all.
Yeah. And in this seed, you needed all the items anyways. Like, you needed Mini Monkey for Key 2, you needed Feather Bow for diving, you needed Rockets and Peanuts to get Hunky Chunky. In the end, you needed all of the K-Rool moves anyways, except maybe not Trombone, actually. Actually, come to think of it, was Trombone actually hinted this seed at all?
Let's
Trombone
see.
Was on
Let's
one of
think
the
about
bosses.
this. Yeah, so Trombone was... So we did get a... Something Trough and Scoff was hinted. No, that's not right. Yeah, I'm looking at the hints I wrote down. I don't see anything with Trough and Scoff, but I feel like we suspected that Trough and Scoff was going to be involved somehow because you got barrels early.
Yeah, exactly. So you could have gone Helm for the hint, which Lenky was. Bear with me while
He was the first.
Lenky was the first. So worst comes to worst, you at least got a very simple hint if you wanted to enter. But yeah, Trombone was for the most part not actually hinted through the duration of the seed before Helm. And both players pulled it early, so it didn't impact anything at all. But that's just a thought. If you are a filthy boss skipper like I am, I would not have got Trombone till the end.
Or like Riley is. All right, phase 1 down, 2 to go. And there's the dance of confusion on Andrea's stream.
Yeah, I think she is completely lost. I wonder if she just doesn't realize the guitar hint that she got, or maybe she maybe she did get something off of guitar that we didn't pick up on, or maybe she's embraced casino. It's hard to say what is going through her mind right now, aside from confusion, which honestly I do not blame her for at all. This game can be very confusing, especially when you are one item from go.
Something you'll notice if you've never watched DK64 Randomizer before, you'll notice like the phases are a lot shorter. We shortened these boss phases to a pretty significant degree where we, for Tiny Phase, we removed 2 phases. You still have to hit all the totals, but 2 phases are just gone. And in the other phase, we removed 1 phase each. So pretty significant shortening of K. Rool, so it's no longer a 15 gazillion minute fight every time.
And it also means that Tiny is really the only slow phase because you have to do a lot of waiting for the toes. For the most part, if you know the patterns, know how to do the phases, all of the other 4 phases get done between like a minute to a minute and a half. And that's honestly relatively quick. If you have 3 non-tiny phases, K. Rool is done in less than 5 minutes. It's really cool. But when you have Tiny, as we can see right here, there's just a lot of waiting. So Tiny is generally the one phase that you don't want to have in K. Rool if you're aiming for a quicker time, because you just have to wait. Alrighty, on Andrea's side of the stream as well, it looks like she is just fully looting Castle, which I don't believe had a single hit, so I guess she's just embraced Casino is what my guess is.
Yeah, and again, can't really blame them for doing that.
Yeah, exactly. It's a shame, but it makes complete sense. Meanwhile, Danilio has just finished Tiny Phase and is about to go do the Diddy Phase. When was it Diddy? Yeah, Diddy Phase.
Diddy Phase can be very fast if you know how to play it well, but definitely one of the hardest fights in the game, though.
Oh, yeah. Even if it's just the start of it is so hard because there's a lot of weird things that can happen trying to get into the barrel. Like, for some reason, if you enter the barrel at the same time that the glove hits you, you're just frozen in place until you get hit a second time. And those gloves are ridiculous. Those gloves can hit you from anywhere.
All right, coming up on time here. Only 3 phases opposed to 4.
Alrighty, and that is time. Do we have an official time?
The official time is 2:04:53.
Nice, and good job to Danilio. Danilio will take that win over Andrea, moving on to winners round 2. That is a really good time considering the things that were required for that seed. Like needing to go to Galleon, a level 7 Galleon, mind you, for 2 slams is nothing you would think. So that was a really good time for those 2 players. Oh, sorry, for Danilio.
All right, I think we are going to get a potential interview here.
Welcome to bonus stage.
Hey, do we know if Danilio's coming?
Shooting him a message right now. Oh, here we go. Hello, Danilio. All right, I think we have both racers in here. Hello, hello.
Hello, morning, everyone.
Morning.
So
That was a seed.
that was a seed.
I honestly thought at the beginning it was going to be very straightforward with what we started with.
Yeah, having 2 slams in a level 7 galleon, that was rough. Like, both were hinted, but wow. Who would have expected to need to go to level 7 to get 2 of your 2 slams? That was a rough seed, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, when I saw level 7 Galleon, I definitely was freaking out. Didn't think it would end up being as straightforward as it was, but there was a couple hints that I didn't need a slam for in there, so I kind of just tried to rush that and pray.
Yeah, that was kind of what it seemed like as well. Like, you see the Gallon required 54 gold bananas, it's like, oh. And then you just kind of went into other levels to get the 54.
Yep. And then I got super lucky with Peanuts. Pretty much getting it on the first check when I was just following guitar checks.
Yeah, and that was a pretty good play there because you could obviously... That entire back half of Aztec is locked by guitar. Training of guitar kind of sucks because like that means it could be anywhere in that back half of Aztec. And like you didn't have Grape Shooter or Peanuts at that point either. So like you couldn't check the temples, some of the 5-door temples either. And then
and then also the orange bait. The orange bait. I was really hoping that was gonna be a slam.
Yeah, you got.
We were all hoping it was diving for so long, and then diving was somehow on the bean of all places.
Yeah, wait, where did we find diving again?
It was on the bean.
Oh yeah, the bean.
This scene had bean, mermaid, 2 bosses, and a bait fairy.
Yeah, that was something. GG's, Andrea.
Yeah, that orange troll was so bad. I was like, I was so ready for that to be a slam, and then it wasn't.
And then I thought, oh, maybe guitar would lead to the Diddy cabin where you need oranges, but nope.
So, where are the peanuts?
Peanuts are on Vulture Race.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I wasn't going to do that.
Yeah, the only hint you had for it was guitar was on the path to Chunky K. Rool. That was the only hint that was there for it. And from memory, both the 2 of you only ever found Simeon Spring behind guitar. So you were left with miscellaneous guitar checks and like 80% of Aztec. So that was really the only hint you had towards that. And Danilio did end up getting that on the very first check. So that was a really good pull getting Peanuts there.
I was kind of like thinking like again like you didn't have grapes, so like there's a place you couldn't do behind guitar door. You also didn't have chimpy charge. That's also something you couldn't do that was behind guitar door. So like this scene was very scary, like going into that possible casino mode, because like even if Peanuts were behind guitar door, like if it was on one of those checks, like then that was purely casino to find those moves you needed. So like this was a very potentially scary seed in that regard.
Also, I don't think the bosses were hinted at all.
Yeah.
There's 2 items on there.
Yeah, I think me and Spike were talking, like, I don't think either the bosses were hinted, so, like, Lanky was the first in Helm, so, like, that's not a big deal to just get that hint, but, like, that could have been, like, a potentially big deal if you never checked that at first. Both of you checked the bosses right away, and I feel like if you start with barrel throwing, I think that's a good thing to do because it increases the chances that those bosses would have something you need. And of course, you have barrels were path to key 8 as well, which Sarah pointed out.
Oh, so that's what that was. Okay, I couldn't put that together. Also, is two-door shift outskirts? Because
yes,
I didn't. Okay,
Yes,
I thought they were separate, so I was checking other outskirt checks for no reason for a little bit.
Yeah, any check that isn't the 5 ship in that, in the treasure room in that area is classified as the outskirts, which is a little annoying at points because of the fact that you need to go to Lighthouse for what, 3 outskirts checks, the seal race and the mechfish. So being hinted outskirts on a level with 2 slams where you might need to do mechfish or seal race, honestly, fair enough.
I'm excited for the next version where when you pause the game, we're actually putting the area you're in inside like the pause menu screen. So like it's really easy to just double check to make sure, oh, this is outskirts or oh, this is 5-door ship.
Yeah, that would be nice for sure.
So that's gonna be in the next season, presumably, unless something is really busted about it. I don't know, but I think we covered all of the big items of this.
Yeah, I believe so.
Shout outs to the Japes Lowlands triple key hint. That was a fun one to see.
Yeah, sometimes when the hints get like that, I can't even think too hard about it. Otherwise, I'm just gonna confuse myself. Just keep going.
Yeah, just gotta keep pushing and whatnot. So
A thought just came through my head as well about the barrel throwing as well. Is barrel throwing actually did get you pineapple on the boulder in Japes. So if you're someone who doesn't check boxes and you got pineapple there, you might actually have been enticed to not go and do bosses. So this seed actually had potential of screwing up a lot of people depending on if you are someone that checks bosses or not.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I just want to thank you guys and everyone who's putting this tournament on. It's super fun to be a part of, and I know a lot of hard work goes into it. So thank you for that.
we appreciate it. And again, it is double elimination. So Andrea, you are not out yet. Danilio, you move on to winners round 2. I'm not sure. Do we have your opponent yet? Let me see.
We do not. You have the winner of Etiquette and Ride Dog, which I believe is happening in a couple of days.
Oh, nice.
And then Andrea Andrea gets the loser of that match, I think. So you will both find out from that match. Anyway, I think we are good here. I want to, again, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for participating, etc. and so forth. We will see you the next restream. Again, if you join our Discord, it is in the event tabs at the top. I believe it's going to be on Thursday, and actually it's going to be L Rock versus Vidya James. That should be a good solid time there. Gonna go ahead and dump these viewers on people, and we will see you on Thursday morning.
Thanks, guys. GG's, Andrea, again.
GG's, Daniel.
Send everyone to Camerson, and